Hello, quilt artisans. My name is Shonda, and welcome to my channel, Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. I'm here for Thankful Thursday, but it's Saturday. It's Saturday at 6 p.m. And I'm going to recap my week and let you know how I got here and why I didn't make this video on Thursday. Alright, so I made a video last Thursday. Great. Friday was fine. I worked, and that was pretty much it. I worked, hung out with Adrian. We went to bed. Friday was Friday. Saturday, I had a live sew with Katie, the Greenland quilter, at 4. So before that, I washed my stepdaughter's hair. So we had to, take it all out. We had to detangle it and wash it. And then after it was washed, we detangled it and put it into 4 sections. That was Saturday. And then I did my live sew with Katie from like 4 to 7. Ended up being down here crafting until maybe about 8 o'clock. And that was Saturday. Sunday was hair all day. I've never put fake hair in someone's head before. Not even my own hair. I've never done that. I've only done like people's actual hair. So I hadn't, this was new for me. And it took me all day to part all the sections and then put all the hair in. It took me from about 1 o'clock in the afternoon to about 10 o'clock at night. It was all day. So that was my Sunday. I didn't do anything else. By the time I was done with her hair, I didn't feel like doing anything whatsoever. At all. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, work. And, I did some crochet here or there. So, I've been working on that crochet blanket. I've been working on this blanket here. And so I was nearing the end of it. And for quilting, this is not the case. But when it comes to crochet, I am way more likely to pick it up and finish it when I'm close to the end. I noticed that with my cardigan. That once I got close to the end, there was like this push to keep going to get it done. And that's kind of where I was here with this blanket. I think I had maybe 12 rows left or something like that, 14 rows left. And it's like, okay, if I do like 2 rows a day, I can have it done, or if I do 4 rows a day, that kind of thing. So I was kind of working on that at night. Didn't really do much sewing during the week. The only sewing I really got done was on that Saturday when I did the live sew, which tells me that I probably need to start scheduling my sew time, like on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever, or even during the week. I might just have to schedule, 6 to 8 and have my sew time. Like I might have to actually physically put it on a calendar, because the only sewing that I got done was because it was on my calendar to do that live sew. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was just working on this blanket and looking at crochet patterns. I bought yarn, y'all. I bought yarn. And because that was another reason why I wanted to get this blanket done. I also started another blanket because I need to use up the yarn that I already have to make space for the yarn that I just bought. So I just bought 8 skeins of yarn. So I need to use up 8 skeins of yarn. Anywho, so Thursday came. This blanket was not done yet. I wanted it to be done by Thursday, but it wasn't. It wasn't done. So fine, the blanket's not done. No big deal. But my thing about Thursday was I did not want to get on camera with a cap on my head still. I wanted, because I think the last couple times I got on camera, I had a cap on, and I wanted to actually do something with my hair. So Friday morning, I got up. I knew I wasn't going to do my hair during the week because I had spent all weekend doing my stepdaughter's hair. I didn't feel like doing any more hair. So I knew I was going to wash my hair Friday. So Friday morning, I got up, I washed and blow dried my hair, and then I flat ironed it. It was cute. And I was like, great, my hair is done. I can get on camera and my hair is going to be cute and it's going to be great. And I was looking forward to that, right? 3:45 comes, I have to take my son to work. So I took him to work. By the time I took him to work and got back, it looked like I hadn't combed my hair at all. Because it's raining here in North Carolina. It's very humid. And it's raining. So I spent about 2 hours, 2.5, washing, blow drying, and flat ironing my hair so I could go on camera and be cute. Just to have it dissipate in a matter of 30 minutes outside. So by the time I got home, it looked like, you can't tell I flat ironed his hair. It looks like I didn't do anything. I was so disappointed. I was crushed. I was crushed because I can't do it. I can't put all that heat in my hair again, and it's still humid and it's still rainy. So the same thing would happen even if I did it. So here I am, looking like this, and it's okay. But by me making this video on Saturday, I did get this blanket done. So I do want to show you guys what I worked on. So last weekend when I was sewing with Katie, I finished some blocks that I had been working on. These blocks here, there are 40 blocks total. I already had 20 of the blocks done. I finished the other 20 of the blocks. That is, actually I take it back. I did do some sewing other than on Saturday with Katie. I finished these blocks Saturday with Katie, but I believe that Thursday and Friday I did do a little bit of sewing, just not a lot, but on those same blocks. Also with Katie, I got these little baskets done. I love them. They're so cute. This project came in the Stash Buster box that was done by Hummingbird Fabrics. They're no longer in business, unfortunately, but and that box doesn't exist anymore. But it was a subscription box she had started, and there was a pattern, there was a project that was in there for these little baskets. It came with the premise of that box was they gave you everything except fabric so that you could use your stash to put something together or make a project. And so for me, it was So I got to the end of my video and realized at some point the sound cut out. So at least I caught it early-ish. So let's go back to where I left off at. Shoot. Okay, so what I was making were these little baskets. Let me show you here. These little baskets. And so basically this just came with the instructions and a piece of soft and stable. That's all you got. Instructions and a piece of soft and stable. And technically, like, you were only supposed to be able to make one basket. And I thought that was kind of one basket. That's a very small basket. And there was going to be a lot of waste left over if you just made one basket. So what I found out was that they have you cut the soft and stable oversized and then trim it up later. So if they had given an extra inch of the soft and stable, you would have had enough to do that and get two baskets comfortably, but they didn't. So it was kind of tight, but it was workable, right? It was workable. I just didn't have very much space to trim, so I had to be really careful when I sewed my fabric onto the soft and stable that there was no shifting, that nothing got out of line and things like that. But it ended up working out fine. And like I said, I was able to get two baskets, and because we've changed the colors in our bedroom, these baskets match my bedroom. At least the gray and black and the cream matches, and then this red here kind of gives it that little pop of color, which is nice. I like it. Yeah, so that was the sewing. That's all the sewing I got. Now, I don't remember where I was in this, but okay. So I also, because I bought some yarn, and so because I bought some yarn, I need to use up yarn that I already had, right? Kind of like one in, one out. It's kind of how I'm trying to look at this. Yarn in, yarn out. So I had purchased some Bernat blanket a while back. And so this works up so quickly. This is just going to be a very small, you can tell it's very small. Just something to go over your legs, very small. And this is going to work up quickly. I started this on Thursday. I worked it a little bit on Friday. And in that time, I was able to work through a skein and a half. So if I were to sit down, and this is so easy. This is just, I think it's moss stitch is what I'm doing. Single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one. I think that's moss stitch, linen stitch, something like that. One of those. I don't know. I don't be knowing stitches. I expect that to go really quickly. And so that'll be 4 skeins of yarn out, technically. Right? That'll be 4 skeins out. So I'll be happy with that. I need a sip of water. Yeah. So that'll be 4 skeins done really quickly. 4 skeins out. And then I have another 8 skeins of Bernat blanket. And I plan to use that to do this little ditty here, which I found for free on the Yarnspirations website. Because this uses 2 balls of main color, 2 balls of contrast A, but this is using the larger skein. I have the smaller skein. I have 4 of them, 4 of each. So I'll be able to make this. Excuse me. This will be easy. We're just chaining 96. And this uses the same stitch as I'm doing right now, where we are chaining 96, and we're going to put a single crochet in every chain across, starting with the second chain from the hook, and then we're going to chain 1, skip next chain, 1 single crochet until the end. So chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. So unless I find another pattern that I'd rather do, this is what I'm going to do. Simple, easy, mindless project. And then once I get that out of the way, then I can work on, where is it at? I forgot where I put the yarn now. Here we go. So this is some Red Heart all-in-one granny square yarn. This is, the colorway is black/carnation code. I love this color. I love it. I think it's going to look great. And the pattern that I'm going to be using is by Susan Kennedy. Life's Not a Race is the pattern. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. And basically, she made her blanket. She took 4 skeins of Lion Brand mandala. She held two strands at a time, and she made this blanket, and it ended up being 36 by 60. I don't really like those dimensions, so I'm going to change mine a little bit. But also, Lion Brand mandala is 590 yards of skein. So, but it's also a DK weight. So I've got the same amount of yardage, but it's thicker. So I don't know. I am going to hold 2 strands together, but I'm going to be holding this. And I'm either going to hold it with a strand of this Lion Brand Jiffy, which is a 5 weight, or I do have some black Lion Brand Pound of Love that I can use as well. So I haven't decided which one I want to do. I think I might do a little test swatch with each to see what I like better. I'm not sure. But once I'm done with all the Bernat blanket and I've finished those 2 blankets, which I hope to go relatively quickly, I want to have both of those done in the next 3 weeks, I guess. So that would be great if I have them both done in the next 3 weeks. There's going to be kind of a push because I really want to get to this really badly, really badly. And then once I've made this, and this is going to be simple because this is just, this pattern is just straight double crochet. And instead of double crocheting in the stitch, you are double crocheting in the space between the stitch. And so since that is a larger area to find, it is a faster stitch. So I have to figure out what hook size I'm going to use. I need to figure out what my stitch count is going to be. So I think I almost never do a gauge swatch. And I'm not doing a gauge swatch because I care about gauge per se, but I want to know how big this thing is going to get. Because if hers is, and this is worked on the long edge, right? So when for her, she did a chain of 108. No, 110. She started with a chain of 110. But that chain of 110, that's the length of the blanket. So with chaining 110, that gave her 5 feet of blanket. And then by going all the way until she ran out of yarn, that gave her 3 feet. So I know I want to get a little more out of mine. So I'm probably going to chain less. Yeah. And then after that, I don't know if I'm going to do it simultaneously or when I'm done with this. I don't know. But a project that I'm really excited about is another project by Susan Kennedy. And this is called the Wind River blanket. It's in her book. But she did do a rug version of it. And there it is. You know, I want you to see my notes. That's the blanket. So it's very mosaic-like. This rug or the blanket uses 4 colors, or you can use one main color and one contrasting color to have just a 2-tone blanket, or you can do like I am and use some type of variegated yarn. And that's also what's she's made this blanket so many times, so she's done it in every way with 4 colors and with 2 colors. So I got this red heart all-in-one granny square. I think this will match my living room really nicely. And I got some regular navy to go with it to be my main color. And this will be my contrasting color. This is a blanket that's going to take time because you have to be constantly counting. Like for instance, on one of the rows, you have to make 3 stitches using one of your colors, 11 stitches using, I'm going to pretend we're using 2 colors. So you would make 3 stitches using color 1, 11 stitches using color 2. Then 11 more stitches using color 1, 11 more stitches using color 2, and then 3 stitches using color 1. And you would have to repeat that twice to make something the size of the rug. But to make a more blanket size, which is what I'm planning to do, I'd probably have to repeat that 3 or 4 times. That's a lot of counting. So I expect this to be a very long-term project. This is not a sit in the bed and relax while I crochet type project. It's not that. It's more of I have to pay attention. I have to count. I'm probably going to print it out. I'm probably going to print it out in large letters with little check boxes next to it so I can check off each row. So I can, if I have to repeat it 3 or 4 times, I can check off each time that I've repeated it. It's going to be a lot of counting. I thought the cardigan was a lot. This is going to be even more counting than that. And that's why I want the end result to be something that I can use forever, and I really want it to match my home because I want to be able to display it, because it's going to take tremendous time, effort, and energy for me to make this blanket, but I'm excited about it. We'll see. I'm not even guaranteeing that I'm going to start it in 2024. This is going to be a time consuming project for me. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how everything else goes. Okay. My yarn came in from, and I'm not counting the cotton yarn. The cotton yarn doesn't count. But I got my 2 skeins of Dishy from We Crochet. I've got some navy and some gray, so I can continue on with making my dishcloths. I haven't done much. I've got about a third of a dishcloth here, so I've got to finish that, of course. But the dishcloth got put to the side because I was so close to finishing this lark's foot stitch or middle finger blanket. So I am finally done. So I'm going to show you guys this thing. I am super proud of it. I have a ton of leftover yarn. I ended up putting a border on it because I had to, because I carried up the main color, the navy. I carried it up throughout, and so I had to cover that thread. I had to cover that yarn. So I ended up having to I just put a single crochet all around it. I haven't decided if I'm going to go back in and add something else, another stitch, something fancier. I don't think so. If I do it, it's only going to be to use up more yarn. That would be the only reason why. I think I still have a skein and a half left of this yarn. So if I were to do more, it would be simply for that reason and that reason only. I'm going to hold this sucker up here. It came out. It's a decent size. I love how it came out. This is my blanket. All my little FUs. All my little middle fingers being stuck up. This was fun. This was a fun blanket. I enjoyed making this. I really did. And I finished it today. I was in bed today and I had, how many rows did I have left to do? 4, and then I had a row of single crochet that I was doing, which I didn't have to do. I didn't realize that, but I didn't have to do that. But it ended up being fine because I ended up doing the border anyway. But I thought when I started the blanket, I thought I started it with a row of single crochet. I thought that I had. So I thought that I chained, and then I thought that I did a row of single crochet, and then I worked into that row is what I thought that I did. But then when I went back and looked at it, no, that's what I did. No, that's the wrong end of the blanket. Yeah, when I went back and looked at it, I hadn't done that. I had worked into the chain. And so, but since I ended up putting a border on it, it didn't matter because I've got the single crochet going all the way around anyway. But I just love how this came out. I don't love how much yarn I have left over. I mean, it's not a ton, but it's a good bit. Like, from each of these mini skeins, this is about how much yarn I have from each one. It's a good bit. It's a good bit. I don't. It's a good bit. What is this? Oh, I guess I have one one end that I didn't weave in. But yeah, it's done. I love it so much. I don't know why, but I love it so much. I love it so much. I love it so much. I did not keep track of how long this took, so I don't remember exactly when I started it. So I don't know how long it took me to finish. I have no idea. No clue. But I love it. I love it. And I do think that the border, because I did each of these bands of colors is a 2-row repeat. So I basically just did 4 single crochets evenly across each band of color, and hopefully that'll help to even the blanket out, because my tension was all over the place. I don't care, it's a blanket. But my tension was all over the place. Like you can see here, well, maybe you can't see, but these stitches here are much tighter than, say, they're just wrong side of the blanket. Like these stitches here are much looser than like these stitches here. Maybe you can't tell that, but I can certainly tell that. Just that my tension was just looser when I was making these, as opposed to when I was making these. They're just looser. My tension was all over the place. Plus this Red Heart Soft. I wish I had just used regular Red Heart Super Saver or had gotten Hobby Lobby, because this yarn here is Hobby Lobby. All the colored yarn is Hobby Lobby yarn, but this is Red Heart Soft. But I'm wishing I had used Red Heart Super Saver or the Hobby Lobby yarn, because it's soft. And so it's so much softer than this regular Hobby Lobby yarn that they just don't work up the same. They just don't. They don't. But I didn't care. I had enough yarn. It's a blanket. It's not a wearable. I love how it came out. I think for now, between now and Thursday, I would like to make up some gauge swatches using this with the Jiffy, the cream color Jiffy, and with the black. I would like to do that. I'd like to see, at least to have an idea of which one I want to go with. I at least want to do that. And I want to get this other Bernat blanket finished. I want that, the blue and brown one that I'm working on, I want that done. And then I want to start the next one in the next week. That would be great. I also would like to get some sewing, but I think I'm going to have to start scheduling it, and because I don't know exactly where the video cut off and what I had or hadn't said, but I do think I need to start scheduling my sewing, because the main sewing that I got done was because I was scheduled to sew with Katie from 4 to 7. And so I had that time set aside, and I sewed during that time. I don't know if I would have sewn if I had not set that time aside. I don't know if I would have. So that's something for me to consider, but I might just have to schedule, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 to 7:30, or maybe Saturday from, 2 to 5. I don't know. But I think I might need to start scheduling it in, because the crochet is easy. I pick this up when I'm in bed at night or in the morning. So I wake up early in the morning. I'm not ready to get out of bed and start my day. So I pick up the crochet and I work on that while I watch YouTube videos. At night, when I'm tired, I just pick this up and I work on this while I watch TV. On the weekends, it's football season's about to come back. So on Sundays, while we're watching football, I'll go out and I can sit on the couch and do some stitches. It just fits into my life easier than having to come downstairs. So but I don't want to miss out on my quilting. I do miss it, and I need to catch up on some of my projects. So I think I don't have to schedule my crochet because I'm naturally in bed in the morning or at night. I'm just there already, and the project's there, and I can pick it up or not. But with the quilting, I have to physically come downstairs and do it, and I've just been so busy lately. I just haven't had the time. So, yeah. Anywho, so what am I thankful for? I'm thankful that this daggone blanket is done. I actually really am. I'm over the moon about it. I don't think I'm gonna add another border. I really don't. I just kind of like, actually did, like I said, I didn't want to border this thing at all. And if it had not been for the fact that, because if not, I would have had to weave in all those ends. So for every color you see, that's 2 ends. But I would have had to 2 ends here, 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 here. It would have been double the ends. And so instead of weaving all those ends, this blue, I just carried it up all the way so that I wouldn't have to keep weaving in ends. Yeah. So I'm happy it's done. I'm in love with it. I really am. I love the size of this thing. I didn't realize, how big it, I love the size of it. Like this is a really good size. I am 5'1" at best. So this blanket is almost as tall as me. So if I'm 61 inches, this is probably 58 inches long, maybe. And how wide is it? Maybe 48 by 58. I don't know. I'm guessing here. I'm eyeballing. I have no idea. Yeah, this was fun. I could see doing another one of these. I could see making another one of these in a more vibrant color palette, maybe. Like in some really vibrant colors. This juicy, vibrant, bright, just, fun, cheerful, a nice cheerful FU to the world or something like that. I don't know. I'm excited. Yeah, that's it for me, guys, and I'll see you next video.